What is up, everybody? March Madness is here. We're back. Going to break down Midwest region here first. We're going to talk about a breakdown for this whole region. Obviously, this is going to be the first one that I talk about. So full recap, everything where we're at was Wade Taylor over 18.5 points. First half cash. Kent State, thank God for the foul there at the end. It's crazy. I did lose my one bet I bet on Twitter that I counted towards this. So it moves us to 69-47, 15.88 units here on the show through the regular season. Phenomenal day for me on that Saturday, and obviously been a good year so far. Hopefully that can keep it going here into the NCAA tournament. So first round, obviously, is what I'm going to be talking about. I will talk about a lot more as the week goes on. Probably won't have another show till Monday. That's why I'm going to try and have all of the stuff out here on the channel, just because obviously I'm not going to have the breakdowns and stuff like that for other games until we get some winners here. So Purdue as the 1, going down to Tennessee as the 2, Creighton 3, Kansas 4. Decent side of the bracket here. And I'm going to kind of go down my favorite dog, my favorite and my best bet here for the first game, my favorite future that I like, and most important player that I think is going to be the most important here. You're going to be hearing from me a little bit here. I'm a fan of Tennessee coming out of this region. I think Tennessee is a little bit better than Purdue. I don't trust the other people of Purdue. And if I had to, I know Barnes in March is not the place you want to be, but I don't know. I trust Barnes a little bit more than I trust Painter, and obviously his numbers there have shown us a little bit to be desired. So I know the most bet dog here is going to most likely be McNeese as the 6.5, 7-point dog here against Gonzaga. Obviously, Gonzaga's down this season, but my best bet and my favorite dog are actually the same. They're going to be the same here. And I'm going to be talking about my guys from the Akron Zips. Just talked about how they helped to get us for Kent State here. I'm not sure if they're going to win. I don't think they will. But I think Akron has enough here to keep this game close. 12.5 seems a little bit large. I think it's kind of crazy to see that big of a line on a team like Akron who plays extremely slow. They're very, very good at what they do, guys. They know how to slow you down, get them into their type of game. 268 in tempo. Top 100 defense, but Creighton, we always talk about it. If they can hit their threes, they're going to be tough to beat. Akron, 14th in the country in defending the three-point line. I think the biggest, most important guy in this will be Freeman. He's been phenomenal for these guys over on Akron side. He is an absolute load down low. I understand that they got Kalkbrenner on the other side, but that's why you need a guy like Freeman that can match up with him, sort of. Obviously, he is significantly more athletic than Kalkbrenner. And I really like Akron here as a almost like 13-point dog is crazy to me in this spot, especially when you know Akron's going to play slow. I understand the games of runs and Creighton has the experience, but if I had to take a dog in this region in this first round, I think I'm taking Akron, not to win, but I do like them as a 13.5 point or 13-point dog here. It just seems a little bit wild to me. So my favorite dog, best bet here will be Akron plus 12.5. Really weird to see that they're the same bet here that I'm talking about my favorite bet already. And my dog that I think will cover here in this first spot. So really like this spot for Akron to cover. So my next two things I'm going to talk about is the most important player to me in this region. I went a little bit off course because I did not want to just say, oh, Dalton Connect or Zach Edey, right? Because everybody knows they're important. You can talk about Hunter Dickinson. You can talk about all these dudes that are big names. But my most important player for this region is going to be Zakai Ziegler for Tennessee because everybody and their mother knows Dalton Connect's going to get his, right? And they're going to try to stop him in many different ways, send double teams. But what happens when the double team comes? Who's going to step up? You got a junior like Zakai Ziegler, been playing phenomenal over his last 5 games. 17, 18, 13, 17, and 20 points in those matchups. What I really like is I looked through a couple of these games where we kind of saw Connect struggle a little bit, right? We saw him go for 16 points in that first Kentucky game where they won 103-92. Dalton Connect had 16 points there, but who stepped up? It was Zakai Ziegler, 26 and 13 in that game. He's obviously the guy leading the charge here as the point guard in this spot. I know they got St. Peter's, the team that beat Purdue. Obviously, it is what it is on that end, but obviously I like their matchup. In that one, obviously I'm assuming they're going to play Texas there. I'm not a huge Texas guy. Don't really think they're a team that I'm going to have to worry about here with the roster of Tennessee here. I understand they lost those last two games, but I think, honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. Losing those last two to Kentucky and to Mississippi State. I know they're not great losses, but before that, man, they were won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 of their last 9 games. I think I'd rather have them lose before this tournament. Obviously, they're getting a 2 seed. I think they have the ability to make it all the way through this side. But like I said, I'm going to talk about my favorite, most important player, and that's Zakai Ziegler stepping up. So my favorite bet is going to be over on DraftKings here. And you can find my best bet here on DraftKings, and I'll pull it up right now. It's going to be Tennessee to make the Elite Eight. I know it's not flashy at all, but plus 135 on these matchups that like I said, I don't think that they're going to be having too much sweat here in this first round. Obviously with St. Peter's, and you get a Texas team that I really haven't been that impressed with. I think getting plus money for them to get past those two is pretty nice, to say the least. Obviously, you can see us maybe possibly getting a South Carolina or that Creighton spot there, but I'm not a huge fan of Creighton. They're just so hit or miss. If you can guard the 3-point ball, it just, especially on these neutral courts, guys, like it really scares me, especially with Tennessee being an elite 3-point guarding team as well, 31%, top 50 in the country there. I think this is a great price for Tennessee to get you some plus money. I'd like them to make the Final Four here as well. I don't trust Purdue, but I think Tennessee, everybody's going to be down on them. They looked like absolute dog in their last game. I watched the whole thing, but 55% from the field for Mississippi State. Obviously, they shot a lot better than they have. Hubbard, the freshman for Mississippi State, played amazing. He's on an absolute heater right now. So that's another team to look at, but he's on a heater. He looked really good, had 18 in that game as well. That game was pretty much out of hand. And, as Tennessee, would they have liked to get a 1 seed? Probably, but all the other ones lost as well, right? North Carolina lost. Then you go up and over to Arizona. They lost, right? I don't think that's the worst thing. I'm going to roll with Tennessee here to make the Elite Eight at plus 135. I'm going to be rolling with my favorite player or most important player in Zakai Ziegler here. Don't want to go too chalky there with some big name guys. Think that these guys are just as important, and I think he can step up as a junior, been in the program for 3 years, hasn't had transfers everywhere. He's been there all 3 years. Obviously, I think he's going to step up in this one. And then my favorite bet, my favorite dog in that first round is going to be Akron at plus 12.5 on DraftKings. Just think that's too many points. Enrique Freeman is a monster. I think he's going to give them a little bit of fits down there. Just please stay out of foul trouble on Kalkbrenner. I know he draws a ton of fouls, but I think with his ability to block shots, their defensive rebounding is phenomenal. I know they might not be as athletic and as good of a team as Creighton is, but they do things well that will make Creighton have some fits. So I think this is a good spot, getting almost 13 points. Maybe you wait a little bit and maybe the market starts betting up on Creighton, but I think Akron is phenomenal matchup here for them with only guarding with the 3-point ball being so important. 30% from 3 is phenomenal. Like I said, top 10 in the country in that matchup. And also Tennessee, like I mentioned, top 50 in that metric as well, if they do end up playing Creighton down the road. So quick Midwest breakdown, guys. Again, I appreciate all your support. I will be putting these out sporadically throughout the week for each region. And again, looking to add on to here, I will be moving my best bets onto these numbers as well as my futures. So 2 bets that will be going towards this. hoping we can end in that 20 unit range. And thank you guys again for tuning in, and hopefully you'll be tuning in to the other ones that I'll be doing here for the other 3 regions. So thank you guys so much. And best of luck to us. Happy March. And if you guys want more plays, shoot me a message over on Twitter, and we'll get that ready for you. So thank you guys. See you soon.